school health meeting. This is our final school health meeting of the year. I'm so happy that you all could join us. And let me get my slides going. Our objectives, as we share in our information, is to share updates, information and resources, and help schools navigate school health issues, answer any frequently asked questions, and provide CCDPH contact information and resources. All of our webinars are recorded and they're uploaded to our website, as well as our CCDPH YouTube page. Please keep your lines muted and feel free to put any questions in the chat. We'll be glad to answer those questions during the course of our meeting. Our agenda today is we thought it'd be a good idea to bring you some safe summer activities that you can pass on to your students and families that you work with. We have a few announcements, and Sheila from Communicable Disease is going to give you guys an update. Couple announcements. As I stated previously, this is our final school health meeting of the school year. And just as you thought you could get rid of me, we will be back next school year to continue. And we are in the process of planning that. So in keeping with that, the School Health Advisory Committee, thank you so much for assisting in putting this together. We formulated a survey that will be open for at least a month. I just put the survey link in the chat, but the survey is also in the slides. We just asked a few questions of you in order to gather what kind of content we're going to bring to you next school year. And I appreciate everyone's voice in answering those questions. I appreciate your support. And I try my best to bring the resources that the community needs. So feel free to fill out that survey. It'll be open for a month for those who are watching on demand or couldn't fill out the survey right in time with the meeting. Our CCDPH contact information, medication requests, webinar questions, and general questions and concerns should go to Healthy Cook at cookcountyhhs.org. If you have any line lists or reporting communicable diseases or any metrics questions, that should go to ccdph_schools at cookcountyhhs.org. And here is our Cook County website, our Cook County specific website, as well as our vaccine and communications website listed. For previous meetings, you saw how Kelly Bemis went over the Cook County Health Department Shiny app, where you could look up diseases that are prevalent within your community and the numbers so that you could track it for your own data purposes. So I just added a slide with the link for the Shiny app. And just here is information on our Cook County health clinics for anyone who is underinsured or uninsured. We do not turn anyone away. So here's a list of all of our clinics, as well as the phone number if you were interested in looking into county care, county health insurance. Couple resources that I put together in addition to the ones that our presenters are going to talk about. At last meeting, Keith Wynn talked about the summer EBT event that is going to be $120 on a debit card for people who qualify. So you can look to your school for more information, and just here's some links for more information, as well as there was a webinar that the state hosted providing more detailed information about that summer EBT. And I'm sure families will be grateful because everything costs so much money, and that'll go to a box of cereal or something like that, you know. A lot of people enjoyed when Ms. Houston spoke to us on a stress workshop earlier in the year and have requested that she come back. She is doing a presentation in the community tonight, and here is the link. Please register if you're interested and able to go. I know that everyone enjoyed her presentation. This is a free event. Also, here's some summer opportunities for people who know older youth who may need a stipend, a job, something to keep themselves busy, as well as a STEAM camp that's coming up with our partners at Governor State. As well as I talked last month about the summer kickoff. Although the summer kickoff happened already, there are still some openings for their free programming, just free programming. This is through CompuDot. And if they do not have enough registrants, they are in risk of cancellation. So here is the link here. If you would like to register, find out more information. At the end of the program, you get a free computer, and there's a free computer class training. some information on an upcoming mental health awareness fair tomorrow from our partners at NAMI South Suburbs, and just some information on mental health first aid classes. I talked about this last month. I found this resource from Varsity Tutors. They provide free tutoring based on your eligibility in your school district. So you can email the person in the contact to find out more information on whether your school or school district is eligible. And CETA is conducting a needs-based survey for South Suburbs, and the QR code is listed there. And they just want to find out your thoughts on what is needed within the community so they can try their best to provide that. I found this information for a webinar next Tuesday. It's grant funding available for safe routes for schools. So you can click the link and find out all information about the upcoming grant and the webinar associated with it. Effective immediately, I am no longer leading the EpiPen and albuterol medication requests. You could send those requests and any inquiries to Healthy Cook at cookcountyhhs.org, and they will be glad to fill those prescriptions and answer any questions that you have regarding those medications. Alternatively, schools who qualify for the Rescue Illinois program can still get their information from Naomi Soto, whose information is listed below. Schools who qualify do not need to contact CCDPH for albuterol because the Rescue Illinois program automatically opts them in and will send them that medication. And so you can contact Naomi with any questions if you're in that program. If you of your school, your organization is looking for Narcan, you can contact Denise Holman, who's the contact for our Narcan program. And just some, we talk about this all the time. We want to continue to make sure people are boosting themselves up, which is our media campaign, and not just COVID, which is still rearing its ugly head. We want to make sure that people are up to date on all their vaccines, including their annual vaccines, flu vaccine, and any other vaccines that could help the community stay healthy. So there's just some information on how you can stay healthy and vaccine information. And some information on free COVID tests. If you are like me and every time you get a sniffle, you go to your cabinet and get that COVID test just to make sure that everything's okay, you can still get those from the government at covidtest.gov. Alternatively, if you need them in mass for your school, we are still processing those requests from CCDPH. So you can find that information there, as well as some PPE requests. This is the time for next school year if you like to book mobile vaccination organizations to come to your agency to help with getting in compliance for vaccinations. So I know that their schedule books up quickly and they're very busy. So this is the time to access those links and request those mobile vaccinations for your schools, as well as IDPH has a Wellness on Wheels mobile as well. Just a few resources about some asthma programs, some pediatric emergency response programs, and the Red Cross also has what's called the Pillowcase Project, where they teach emergency response, and they sort of change the thinking of how we think when we emergency response to have a go bag. We need a bag. It could be as simple as a pillowcase to get all of your belongings in so you can go out in an emergency. And just here's some resources on mental health programs if anyone has needs the resource for anyone that they come in contact with. And I am going to show you this very last slide, which is our all of our resources on one slide, so you don't have to keep going back and forth to the links. You can find it on that one slide. I'm going to stop sharing, and Sheila Giovanni from our Communicable Disease Department has a few words she wants to share with you. Hey, Sheila.
Hi, good afternoon. Can you actually see my screen?
See where you are. So no. Oh, no, nothing sharing.
Okay, hold on
Here
a
it comes.
second.
Here it comes.
Okay, great. How is it actually showing on your side? Because I'm looking at something different. Can you see?
It's showing your slide deck with the PowerPoint. I can see it.
Okay, great. So good afternoon, everyone. I actually had told Kelly I wanted to come on and provide our school colleagues and um, partners with a thank you for all of the work that you have been doing over this last school year. But now I actually find myself with 7 slides that I want to just talk about and review, if I may, our collaboration over the school year for fiscal year 2023 and 24. So I know I often prepare the discussions in the lens of the vaccine preventable disease, and that is most fitting to me because I am the preventable disease program manager. But this chart here reflects the vaccine preventable diseases and the vaccines that are most often used to prevent those. And I wanted to take a moment to share this list with you because oftentimes when you're reaching out to us, we are working with like chicken pox, varicella, per se pertussis, our measles cases, and of course influenza. This list here currently does not show our most recent COVID-19 and RSV vaccinations, but they will be updated soon. The next slide is often throughout the school year, I do again talk often about vaccination and stating that vaccination is the key. I wanted to provide this illustration to actually show what happens when you are in that process of receiving a vaccination. It's often noted that they are safe and effective, but this actually demonstrates the readability and the efficacy of vaccinations. And I just love this illustration because it actually shows how the body interacts when you're getting a vaccine and as regards to the antibodies that are produced. So I definitely wanted to leave this here as a reference that you can use when you're having those discussions with those parents about vaccinations. Next, I wanted to take a moment here and actually just pause because every year we receive a bunch of messaging and phone calls in regards to information and guidance on things like our, varicella, pertussis, hand, foot, and mouth disease, and etc. So, with our collaboration with you this year, we have had over 754 emails in our school designated box and counting. So, we just definitely want to take an opportunity to thank you for trusting us as being a source of truth and hope when we are dealing with the guidance and seeking for our suburban Cook County residents and school communities. The next slide is a slide that focuses on our pertussis cases. So I do want to take a moment to just note that this slide and the next slide will cover pertussis and our varicella cases that we have investigated from our 2023 to 24 school year. But we do know that we are receiving correspondence on a regular basis in regards to hand, foot, and mouth, influenza, type A, as well as some enteric diseases. But with that being stated, those are not often considered reportable unless they reach the outbreak definition. So for the next two slides, we'll focus on pertussis and varicella. So over the school year for 2023 to current of this week, we have investigated over 420 varicella and pertussis cases combined. So this graph here shows a list of the varicella cases that pertussis cases that we worked on in 2023, 2024, with our months of October and our November being the highest in regards to the cases that we have saw for pertussis. So as we look at our varicella cases for this school year, as you note, the majority of the cases that we saw for varicella occurred in December, and our next biggest total was in October. So for our school year 2023-24, there were over 139 cases that were investigated for varicella. And then finally, I just do want to take a moment to extend our thanks from the VPD team for your heartfelt gratitude and your ongoing collaboration and support throughout the school year. We do want to literally just thank you so very much for all of your help and your assistance that you do provide us. during our investigation period, and we want to wish you a safe and a rejuvenating and enjoyable summer break. So we do look forward to seeing you in fall. Thank you, Kelly.
Thanks, Sheila. We really enjoyed the information that you presented, and it was very helpful. Thank you to you and your team. Look forward to seeing you in the fall. And up next, I want to welcome Sophia Vela from Cook County Forest Preserve to talk to you guys about offerings for the Forest Preserve. Hi, Sophia.
Hello, everybody. So glad I can join this afternoon with you guys. My name is Sophia Vela. I am the South Zone Program Coordinator for the Cook County Forest Preserves. I serve as a point of contact for organizations, people of the public to get access to the forest preserves, whether it's their programming and engagement team or the other many resources that we have. I didn't send you our PowerPoint, Kelly. I hope you don't mind that I share my screen.
Oh, no, it's
while
no problem. Feel free.
Oh, all right. And then I will get started with you guys. Can everybody see me?
Yes.
All right, so welcome to the Forest Preserves of Cook County. We are 70,000 acres of public land and growing for all to enjoy. We have many different locations all throughout the city and the south suburbs. Oh, why is my slide? Okay, so one part of the forest preserves is our mission is to acquire, restore, and manage lands for the purpose of protecting our natural resources for those and other future generations to enjoy. The Forest Preserves of Cook County provides many residents with clean air and water and flood control every year, as well as safe havens for endangered species and rare and unique flora and fauna. So if you've ever visited the Cook County Forest Preserves, you may come across one of the various habitats found within our ecosystem. One is our woodland forests. You can see that in the right corner with spaces between our trees. That is what a healthy woodland forest looks like, as well as our beautiful savannas that are kind of open prairie with a few trees popping up, and our beautiful wildflower prairies, as long as wetlands. So our wetlands of Cook County serve as great breeding habitat for our migratory bird species, and Chicago sits right on a migratory route. So if you guys were participating in any spring programming, we've done plenty of bird watching walks this spring and well into the summer. For those who don't know, the Cook County Forest Preserves is also a partner with the Chicago Botanic Garden and Brookfield Zoo. They sit on Forest Preserve property, and we have a bus grant opportunity called Experience Nature Bus, where we provide busing to groups and that don't have transportation to visit these two sites or to visit the forest preserves and any of our amazing events. So here we have a little slide of all the different things you can do. You can come hiking with us. You can come bird walking with us. In the winter, we have cross-country skiing. We have multi-use trails dedicated for mountain bikes, as well as equestrian use, and paved trails for biking. And we are a site of picnic permits. So if you guys are interested in having your family barbecue, there's plenty of beautiful outdoor spaces at affordable cost to rent out. And of course, if there's any organizations willing and wanting to work with the forest preserves, we do also host events such as 5Ks and partner and things of that nature. All right, so here's a little bit of a map of the Cook County Forest Preserves. Everything that is in green are our parcels of lands. We have around 70,000 acres, 6 nature centers all throughout Cook County that are open 7 days a week, except Christmas, Thanksgiving, and New Year's Day. They are offering, all our nature centers are offering summer camp at very low costs. And we also have 5 public campgrounds. that are operational all summer long if you're looking for a quick getaway, as well as 40 managed lakes for fishing and motorized boating. Here's just a big giant map of the Cook County Forest Preserves. You can find this information on our website. I am the South Zone Coordinator, so everything in this area is what I can cover, which usually includes most of the city's south side and our south suburbs. For those south suburb audiences, if you're interested in working with us, let us know. So here on this map, all the little dots are partnerships that we have at current and growing since 2021 all throughout Cook County Forest Preserves. And we have a few challenge sites within the city of Chicago, such as Beaubien Woods and Eggers Grove, that are currently going under grant restoration projects, as well as beautification projects to add in more trails, more seating, and more amenities such as restrooms and accessible boat launches for those that have accessibility issues coming soon. And then for those who don't have supplies to participate in the forest preserves or to go camping, we offer gear libraries at our nature centers and we have a campground leadership immersion course that's offered for organizations to help teach them and build up those powers of learning how to camp on your own. We know that the cost of camping and the materials needed can sometimes be a barrier into getting into the outdoors. So we have a whole library full of sleeping bags, tents, pots and pans, all the things you would need to learn how to camp, as well as wilderness survival. So then you guys can then go take your organizations and bring them out to the forest preserves and do a complete camping leadership workshop. So if you're interested in camping this summer, we have a lot of fun stuff happening at our campgrounds. And of course, you guys can partner with us and do business on our website. We take proposals from different organizations interested in working with us, and we're always looking for new partners or other partners where we can support within our community. Outside of all the great things that we do in the forest preserves, we also leave the forest preserves. So during the school year, we're in schools. We go to different resource tables and events. So keep us in mind when interested and looking for people to come out. And we also have a program called Wellness in the Woods. So we offer outdoor yoga, Zumba, and other forest therapy programs guided to get back to nature and overall just complete your overall well-being. Scientists have said that it takes 11 minutes of experiencing nature outside to fully enjoy some of its benefits. So if you're interested in getting outside and looking into some wellness or meditative programming, we do have that available. This Saturday at Eggers Grove on the southeast side, we're having our nature block party event from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. It is a free event. We're going to be having free food, a bunch of different activities, plant giveaways. So if you're available, please come out or share that information with all that you may know. I can send the links in the chat and include my email later on. And also the Colgate van is coming out this Saturday, tomorrow for our nature block party. So if anybody knows any children under the age of 12 that needs a dental exam, their van will be out with us from 11 to 3 doing those health checks and doing kind of some like back to school paperwork and things of that nature. This summer, we have a lot of big celebrations coming up, like our Juneteenth celebrations. We're having some African American water heritage canoeing trips coming up in the Calumet River. So we have a lot of fun and exciting stuff. And my best advice is to check our website because there's not enough space to put it all in a PowerPoint. And if anyone has any questions, you guys can ask me or I can email you back. And thanks, Kelly, for giving me the opportunity to chat.
No problem, Sophia. That was so much great information. And I think it's much needed because so many people don't know what we have right in our own backyard. I didn't know about the camping equipment rental and the leadership development opportunities you have. So we have to take advantage of that. So that's so great. I'm glad you were able to attend. If you could put your contact information in the chat, and I'm going to ask all of our presenters to send me their slides, and I'll send everything out next week. And I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Sophia. If there are any questions for Sophia, please put them in the chat. And we are so grateful for that information. And right now, I'd like to welcome Greg Ellison from Youth Educational Development Academy to talk about summer offerings for his program. Hi, Greg. Greg is one of my favorite people. Hey, Greg, how are you? You're muted. There you go.
How are you? And thank you for
Great,
that.
great.
I'm going to try to share my screen. Guys, let me know when that comes up.
Got it. Great job.
Okay. All right. Good afternoon, folks. And again, my name is Greg, and I'm going to be very brief because I am on the heels of getting ready to take about 60 kids on a trip. So got to get out of here by 4 o'clock. So, but Kelly, again, thanks for the opportunity. Just a little bit about YEDA. And so the acronym stands for Youth Education Development Academy. This slide just represents a few of the folks that we have in our leadership team. We have been in existence since actually January of 2022. Though I say very humbly, if you take a look at the scope of work that we've been able to accomplish over the last 2.5 years, pretty significant, even though we would assume, I think we could pretty much say we're still in our infancy stages. These are some of the folks that act either as coaches or support staff for our organization. We have about 16 coaches for some of our programs. And then we have some parents who perform and in fact, mind you, again, all these folks are volunteers, but a lot of them play in significant roles to try to move our business and our organization forward on a pretty consistent basis. So I'm really grateful and recognize how blessed I am just to have this level of staff, again, for folks who are volunteering. Who are we? An organization that supports youth 3rd grade through 12th grade. Our initial focus was to attract youth in the community via our sports programs. That has really allowed us to provide a platform to get them engaged in some other things. What you see on the screen is just a photo of actually a group of kids, 24 kids, young men. We actually took on a college tour last year down to Southern Illinois, Southeast Missouri State, and another JUCO. We were down there for about 4 days. They had the opportunity not only to engage in some sports stuff, but they also went through college orientations and the like. Well received by the parents, well received by the kids, and I think in a lot of instances, really got the kids really starting to think about college, where in some cases they may not have been thinking about college. And so again, if you take a look at the slide, you'll see quite a few men involved in this program. Not only are there men, but there are women as well. But one of the coaches referenced when we went down that he's never seen the amount of men engaged with a group of young men to the extent that we have. So we're pretty proud of that. So very briefly, I'll go through our 2024 plan. There's obviously an education and program development. This concept, everybody plays, which I'll go through in just a second. A formal mentorship program, which we're working in collaboration with Big Brother, Big Sister. I'll talk about that in a second. And things obviously would be relative to this particular call, but increased funding and recruit board members. So YEDA University, everything that we focus in on under the education umbrella, we're going to coin it YEDA University. This particular program, which is really strange considering the educational needs that we have in our community, has been one of the most challenging programs to get off the ground. We tried to do some financial literacy stuff. We've tried to do some tutoring, and mind you, in both instances, we've offered them those programs free. But have not necessarily been able to attract the students. But we continue to look for not only partnerships and relationships and opportunities to get our kids involved. And this is one of those things where I'm going to stay the course because there's definitely a need. And I recognize even with the group of folks that we have, some of our kids are really suffering from not necessarily being at the educational levels that they need to. So this is something we continue to focus on. This particular year, we're working on a pretty active relationship with Providence Catholic. They actually came out and saw some of my kids engaged in a sporting activity last year. And this year, they've actually offered 6 of our parents $45,000 worth of scholarships. Now, when I tell you that none of the parents actually follow through and seize that opportunity, I wouldn't be exaggerating. A little bit disappointing, but there again, we're going to continue that work with them. And my hope is that not only will they be offering us sports scholarships, but also some academics as well. So we do have some kids that are actually doing academically very well. Other organizations, and I saw that Millicent is actually on the call. We're trying to working through what a relationship is going to look like with NYTT. I referenced Big Brother Big Sister program, which is not just an activity-based program. There's some educational components that exist with that program as well. And then our internal focus is that we're trying to work through a development plan that allows us to have some of our kids who are going to be transitioning from middle school this year to high schools. And we're hoping to get that off the ground actually within the next 2 weeks, where we actually have the kids focus for about an hour to 2 a week and actually engage in some stuff that's going to help them make a better shift from the middle school to actually high schools. Media training class is pending. We had a showcase scheduled for basketball players, which were actually postponed. And then we've got a youth entrepreneur workshop that we're working on for the fall of this year. For all of our programs, we now have a grade requirement for use in the program. Any event that they don't meet the grade requirement, they're not booted from the program, but that is where we offer the tutoring for some of those kids to actually participate. Unfortunately, because of the grade requirement, we've lost some kids, but again, this is work in progress. So again, the focus on education and supplemental support, offering tutors, I'm sorry. We did purchase laptops last year to be able to help support parents where there's a need. And then we're collecting grades for some of our programs, because one of the things that we're going to start to focus on is to gather information so that we can produce data as we look for funding that continues to come up as a topic of conversation. And we want to make sure that we're in a position to be able to articulate some of the progress we've been making some of the kids that we have in the program. This concept of everybody plays is something that I referenced earlier that I talk about. And essentially what it boils down to, if for some of you may have kids who are playing in competitive sports. And one of the things that's a lot different today than it was when I was growing up is that the kids who don't necessarily excel in a sport don't necessarily always have the opportunity to play. My organization is really focused on developing programs that allow those kids to not only get training, but also participate. And so we're really trying to build on this concept of everybody plays, so that we're touching a segment of the community that, again, which may not otherwise get the opportunity. And the way I coin it is kind of the kids in the margins when we talk about this. In this particular spring and summer, 2 of the programs that we are starting, and both of these actually start, one starts June 5th, the other one actually starts next weekend, is a development league. It's a 3-on-3 basketball development league where actually there's 5 kids on a team. However, it's a 3-on-3 league. However, if you have skills and you playing competitive, but you can't play in this league. I am very surprised by the reception that we've gotten thus far. We actually have quite a few kids who are already signed up to play, and actually some parents who are willing to help out. And so I'm excited about what this opportunity will actually lead us towards. And then the other thing is we're working with collaboration with Park Forest, the Park District, and an organization, Click Sports. And we're doing a youth soccer camp, which focuses essentially on the same demographic of kids who may not be as skilled, can't play competitively, but we want to get those kids out to engage in some fitness, have a good time, and enjoy themselves. The other thing that I referenced, and I'm glad to finally get this off the ground. I was very instrumental in actually getting Big Brother Big Sisters to actually come to the South Suburbs. They now have a satellite office in Homewood. And the last couple of years, I've really worked through other organizations to try to get programs started. It has not worked. And so I decided in the spring of this year that YEET is going to do the program themselves. And so we are already off the ground. We are going to actually have the program in September of this year. It'll go September through I think March or April of next year. We'll start recruiting bigs for the program relatively soon here. And then again, we're working with the village. I'm sorry, not the village, but the park district at Richton Park is where we're going to actually host the mentorship program. And as they came out and actually assessed the space, one of the other things that came out of that conversation as a byproduct of what we're doing is they're also looking to potentially do something for high school students. So really excited about where this potentially directionally this might go. And with that, Kelly, that's about all that I have.
Greg, you're doing such great things. I don't know if you wanted to talk about the back to school event, and I'm sure all the plans aren't finalized, but would you like to talk about that really quickly?
I did write myself a note that you, so I'm glad you brought that up. So we historically have done, though I'm not calling it an annual event, we have worked with Governor State University the last 2 years to actually execute a back to school event. And I want to say for me, this is not a traditional back to school event where people just come and backpack, maybe engage in some activities and go home. What we've done is bring in a plethora of organizations and resources to be able to expose those things to families as they come out and pick up a backpack. And actually, they are forced to go through some of the booths so that we are sure that they get access to things that they may actually need. So last year, we actually had about 27 vendors who actually participated. That was the most that we've had. And it was interesting because we had about 400 people actually come out, and it was pouring down raining that particular day. So we still had a good turnout. That's up about 250 from the first year. And so I anticipate this year the event's going to grow in numbers. The other thing that we're doing this year, and Kelly's a part of a on over Governor State, we want to expose the community, particularly in the area of public health, some resources and education as well. And so we'll be looking to do not only activities, but workshops. I wrote myself a note down about the Colgate van. I mean, the trailer, I did not know they still did that.
I
And we've
saved it
reached,
as well.
yeah, we still, we've reached out a couple years in a row to actually have some of the Chicago Board of Health folks come out to be able to support the event, but we've not had any luck. I think just based on the multitude of other activities that are taking place during the day. But I am open to anybody who wants to come out and help support us on that day and expose the community to everything that you're offering because our folks need it. It's crystal clear to me that they need it, and oftentimes they don't know where to go. The thing that is starting to take place is we're getting a significant amount of diversity, particularly Hispanic families that come out. And so anything that you guys think you may want to offer us on that particular day, the event is August 3rd. It's probably going to be from probably 10 o'clock a.m. to 2 o'clock p.m., but we'd love to have you to come out and join us. And so, Kelly, I'll send you the deck, and then I'll also send you information. If folks are interested in reaching out to me, they can do that.
Sounds great, Greg. Thank you. I look forward to seeing the deck, and then if you could put your contact information in the chat. And good luck today taking a bunch of kids out. Bless your heart, because it's not an easy task. And thank you for everything that you do, Greg. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks. And I want to welcome Millicent Walker, who is from Mentoring Youth Through Technology, to speak about her program. Hi, Millicent. Thank you so much for taking the time out.
Hello, everybody. I hope you guys can hear me okay. I apologize. I don't have a slide presentation for you guys, but I do have
No
some very
problem.
great information. Mentoring Youth Through Technology is a company that was founded in 2013, and for the last 11 years, we have been doing just that, working to mentor youth through STEM opportunities. Our mission is to ensure that you thrive in a tech-driven world, regardless of what socioeconomic demographics they come from. We offer opportunities in virtual reality, drone technology, robotics, coding, and a host of other STEM and engineering related activities so that youth between the ages of 6 to 18 actually get the opportunity to engage in some of those things that they may be interested in, but might not necessarily have the opportunity to do so either in their school or other activities that they have. We have our primary base is our Saturday morning robotics. which we have a variety, and I'm gonna share the dates with you guys as well of what we have coming up for our Saturday morning robotics, where we engage our middle school students with the opportunity to build and code actual robots. So the robots have to go through an obstacle course or engage in some type of activity, but the students are responsible for making that happen. Yes, we definitely have, instructors that are available to assist them and guide them and train them, but the students are actually responsible for doing that on their own. And it just provides a great opportunity for our students to have a hands-on opportunity to see something that is, just outside of what we typically engage in. Um, we also have our Young Innovators Program, which is the opportunity for students to engage in real world STEM problems and develop solutions for them through entrepreneurial aspects. They have to actually think and solve these problems that are real world problems. And no, they may not necessarily put them into actual effect, but it gives them the opportunity to feel like I can solve this and I can do that. And the opportunity to actually think and develop those critical thinking skills. Let me see what else I want to share with you guys. We have, like I said, we have upcoming summer camps. Greg mentioned that we also have field trips available for other organizations over the summer. If you have summer camps, we definitely have field trips available where you can come into our STEM Center in Matson, which I think I left out. You can come to our STEM Center in Matson and have a 2 to 3 hour course where your students engage in a variety of programs, be it coding or robotics or drone technology, where the students are actually learning how to not just operate in a play-like fashion, the drones, but actually drive the drones. So, you know how we hear about Amazon is getting ready to move into drone delivery. Well, we are preparing our students for that next opportunity in real world technologies, because these programs are going to need drivers, right? So the students actually have to learn how to maneuver, not just, okay, I'm going to fly it in the air. No, actually grab something. They have tasks and obstacle courses. Again, just like with the robots, the drones have obstacle courses that they have to go through. So we have our Saturday morning robotics programs. We also have bots and tots, which are for our 6 to 8 year olds. Because remember, I said we go 6 to 18. So we like to cover all gambits, because just because they're younger does not mean that they don't have those critical thinking skills. They may just not be on the same level as the older kids, but they definitely have that interest. And it's very important that we cultivate it at a young age. I know for myself, my own son, who's always been like our builder in our house, he's getting ready to go into mechanical engineering as he graduates tomorrow. But it's always important, but he's been like our builder throughout his whole life. So it's just important to make sure that we cultivate those skills in our kids. And we are definitely here to offer those opportunities. And I know we aren't in the fall yet, but going into the fall, we will also have time periods for robotic and drone competitive teams. And that's for our middle school through high schoolers. And if you have never been to a robotics competition or a drone competition, it is actually very exciting. And maybe that's just because I'm techie, but I think it's very exciting. And we would love for you guys to engage with us. We have our STEM Day, our Tech Day rather, coming up September 7th, where you can definitely come through our STEM Center in Matson for a tour. Or you can always contact me, and we can definitely schedule a tour another time as well, so you can see for yourself what we have available. We always have our bot arenas, as we call them, the fields where the bots have to actually maneuver and do things. We always have those fields up and available to at least view. And then, like I said, we also have our virtual reality component, where our students not only engage with virtual reality in the realm of thinking of, of playing with it, but also learning how to develop those games and those applications where you're not just the user of it, but you are the developer of it. Yeah, my talk is a lot shorter than everybody else's. Any questions?
It's just as informative though, Millicent. And we appreciate you taking the time. If there are any questions for Millicent, feel free to ask any questions. Millicent, I'd love it if you could put your contact information in the chat. And if you have any flyers, feel free to email that to me. And then next week, hopefully Monday, I can get all of this information shared out. But it sounds like you're doing great work with kids, and it does sound exciting. I would love to see a drone competition. It sounds pretty exciting to me.
Mhm. Thank you. I
It
definitely
looks
will
like
after
there's
my.
no questions, so I appreciate you, though. That sounds great. Thank you again for taking your time out, Millicent.
Yeah. Hi, Kelly. This is
Oh, sure.
April.
Hi, April.
Hi, Kelly. Thank you for hosting an amazing meeting. And Millicent, thank you for being on. I just wanted to acknowledge everything Millicent said. I had the opportunity to come to one of their events in the winter, and I met their drone instructor and was very surprised, Millicent, that he shared with me that students as young as 16 can get their drone license, just like your driver's license, and can really start looking at career options as early as 16 and 17. So really exciting opportunities for our youth when everyone does not have funding to go to university at $30,000 and $40,000 per year in undergrad and so on. So really wanted to encourage people to look into MYTT and connect those young minds to STEM. So thank you for being on today. And Kelly, thank you for having them on to expose our educators so that they can inform their folks and parents about this opportunity and all the opportunities that were presented today.
Thank you for that, April. That sounds good. I have to look into that. That is great opportunity. And we have to get the word out so more people will bombard you all, Millicent, and your team. Thank you, April, and thank you, Millicent. Now I'd like to welcome Lorenzo Weber, who is from Proviso Township Youth Services. Last but certainly not least. Hi, Lorenzo. I saw that he was on. Did Lorenzo have to get off? Let me search the chat and see if Lorenzo is still on. Maybe he had an emergency and he had to get off. I don't think he is on. Maybe Lorenzo had to go. I'll give it another minute, and maybe Lorenzo had tech issues and had to hop off and is going to come back on. But in the meantime, I'll take this opportunity to remind those who hopped on a little bit late to please do the school survey that the School Health Advisory Committee put together for next school year. This will inform our programming for next year, and we want to make sure that we service your needs and you can tell us the things that you are interested in, and then we could try to put that together for next year. So we're going to try to plan ahead. And are there any questions for any of our presenters or any of our staff while we are just waiting a couple minutes to see if Lorenzo is able to get back on? None. Well, I do have one question, and I neglected to put that in the survey, and it just hit me just now. When are most schools back in session for the next school year? Is it the end of August or the beginning of September? I see Kathy and Teresa on, and Patricia, I see that you're on. You're some of my most vocal nurses. If you could answer that, that will really be helpful in planning. August 21st, I see middle of August, middle end of August. That's kind of what I thought. So in order to ensure that most people are back in, I think we may try to plan our upcoming sessions the beginning of September because everyone isn't back at the same time. That way, no one misses out on that initial information from the beginning of the school year. Thank you guys for responding. And April was checking to see if Lorenzo had any issues. Were you able to contact him? Otherwise, we can adjourn. And if Lorenzo has any information to send, I'll make sure that I send that as
Yeah.
well.
Nothing yet, Kelly. I'm still checking.
Okay, he may have had an emergency, and that is okay. Things happen, and we know how to pivot, don't we? So that's the name of the game. So I hate that you guys weren't able to meet Lorenzo. He is a fantastic force in the community, in the Proviso area, in the west suburbs, from the youth services. And I hope that he can send me whatever information that he wanted to share with you, and I'll make sure that I share that on. I am going to let you all enjoy the rest of your beautiful day and enjoy your summer. It has been great working with you. I am so happy for the support that you have been offering our school health meetings. And feel free to reach out with any questions or concerns, and I'll be more than happy to respond. Thank you all so much for your attendance, and be well. Have a great summer, and we will see you next school year. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.